Hello everyone. This is Listening Lotus coming back to you again with another reading. Thank you guys so much for all your support, like, shares, comments, subscriptions, everything. I'm just ecstatic. I'm very appreciative, and I'm gonna be saying it probably as long as I'm gonna have this channel. Okay. Happy new moon to everybody out here. Um, Hope everybody is taking really good care of themselves, drinking your water, definitely going outdoors to get yourself replenished and refreshed and renewed. Um, Definitely allowing new energy to come in, new opportunities, and let's just see what comes out and go from there. So, again, I hope everybody's taking good care of themselves because that is super important right now to keep your mental and your physical as aligned as you possibly can. And so, let's just see what happens. Okay. So, first card up, we have longing. It says, I offer my deepest desires as the affirmation. It says, change me, beloved, into one who offers my deepest longings, trusting you know exactly how to handle them and let me know my wholeness and freedom most of all. So, put that up there. The next card is available. I am open, even in the most baffling problems, knowing that you will carry me with the right solutions at the right time if I am utterly open and receptive and available. So, a lot of this, especially with these two cards, already off the bat, is like people longing for love in itself, whether if that's in a partnership or just loving yourself more, giving yourself more some more TLC. Um, a lot of root and sacral energy in both of these cards. So maybe even doing more like wellness on your like womb or prostate area for both my men and women. I thought one had flipped over. Let's see. Nope. Okay. And then next we have okay, and we have beauty. It says, I am a spark of divinity. It says, and to one who knows without question my own beauty, worthiness, and desirability, let me remember constantly who I am, love itself in temporary human form. So, whoever I'm speaking to, especially with all of these cards pretty much having the same color scheme going on, right? I think y'all can see that. Yeah. Um, a lot of loving energy, a lot of root energy with the root chakra, and like I said, the sacral chakra. Like someone is really trying to come from more of a loving space, from more of an open heart space, and really just being able to put yourself in positions and doing things from a place of love, where what you put out is what you get back out. So, like, if you're longing for deeper connections or if you're simply longing for love itself, I think this is more having to do of like love in itself, especially with today being the Libra new moon. A lot of people want to balance out their love lives, or, you know, allow more love to come into their life. Libra is all about pleasure, and they're all about like the nice things, you know, but within reason. But they do like nice things. And just really calling like that very sensual, very beautiful, very sometimes seductive energy to yourself, and understanding that it's okay to allow that within reason. I could see in these cards like somebody is being really down on themselves. Maybe you're not exactly where you want to be regarding in love, even if that's just like loving partnerships, whether if that's in like your friendships or your closeness with like, even if you're in a relationship, like there may be some things that you guys have once used to do that you guys need to get back to that kind of help you guys recenter yourselves and being in more of a loving space. But also with this available and open card, just being able and available to being open to whatever is coming your way, because there's literally something coming your way, some type of person, place, or thing that is going to bring you more harmony or help you be in more of a beautiful and loving state. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because like this has a lot to do, it's screaming self-esteem. Like somebody is going within and it's like they want to be more beautiful, they want to be more of the divine, and they understand like where what they've been doing thus far wasn't working in their best favor all the time with the longing card, because you want your deepest desires met. And so you're being more receptive and open to embracing new levels of ways to show how beautiful you are of a person, both inside and out, right? So we're going to also pull, like I like to call these, my paragraph cards. Because I'm definitely going to always read from the book regarding these. So let's see what comes out. And just always knowing too, like even if you're not where you want to be, whoever I'm speaking to, like it's okay. It's okay to feel like you need to revamp and start from a different drawing board. Okay, maybe they don't have nothing to say with these. Oh, all right, boom. And again, more red in these cards, maybe even wearing red and like really dark oranges. With this card we have is Sacrifice 36. It says you must find the ebb and flow of life within yourself. Embracing it all is embracing your truth. And a lot of this, I'm gonna put this on the under the available card. A lot of this literally, like I said, has to do with your heart space. You can even see the heart card in the one that I'm going to read. But overall, just from what I'm looking at, is somebody is pouring out how they're feeling and expressing it in beautiful ways that ultimately, you know, your deepest desires will get met. Your needs will get met, if not already. Okay, so let's read what Sacrifice has to say. Okay. Sacrifice invites you to let go of something that is preventing your growth. You do not wish to move on, but deep down you know this is a necessary step on your path towards greater fulfillment. This can mean moving to a new home, embracing a new career or a way of thinking, or even a rite of passage such as a graduation. You know that you are on your way to move, but the moment is still bittersweet. Pulling Sacrifice shows that you have some doubts about your next steps. You wonder if you have made the right choices or if you will later regret your actions. Yes, there will be challenges ahead and perhaps more sacrifices to come, but you must be willing to sacrifice something small to reap the reward of something greater. It is time to commit to your choices and move on in the knowledge that is something more for you to explore. 111 at the bottom of the page. Okay, so with that being said, right? Let's just keep it a buck, right? Especially with all this heart and loving. With all this loving and this could have been a lot of shedding people, places, and things also, as well as you trying to embrace the new. And it's bittersweet because you're holding on to maybe certain memories or certain timelines in your head that maybe once were good, but all in all, you may know that maybe certain places, certain people, and certain things just aren't beneficial for where you ultimately want to go as far as how you see your future and how you see yourself realigning with, you know, once you find out what your higher purpose is, fill in the blank for what that is for you. But making the necessary sacrifices now, your heart can feel like it's bleeding a little bit. It can feel like it's torn, you know, and also just trying to regain a new version of balance, but also understanding, like, even when you're looking at this card and you see like her arms are open and allowing yourself to be open and available. That's the reason why I left it underneath the available card, because where you're going requires a whole nother different level, or a whole nother untapped or a new unlocked level of you that there's no sense once you, how do I say, how once you kind of cross over to that next threshold, there you'll see after a while that it makes no sense for you to try and backtrack and go backwards, because what is ahead of you is far more important than what is behind you. And I know that that's easier said than done for a lot of people, because especially with this longing card, like somebody's heart is hurt about some of the things that they may have went through. Fill into the blank, what that is for you. But this card is somebody really understanding to know that they are whole within themselves and understanding how to move just like that. Okay. This is a lot of self love in these cards, too. Somebody is really coming into more of a better understanding as to their worthiness and knowing that they are worthy of love, always understanding that they are desirable, even on the days that you may not feel desirable, right? But also understanding that the sacrifices that you are making now, and you're doing them from a very loving and open space where you're being receptive to newness that is also coming in, as well as shedding the old. It is going to be a beautiful cycle to embrace. Okay. Definitely to embrace, because even in these cards with the beauty card and someone questioning, maybe it could be your appearance. And especially in today's age, I know that unfortunately there's a lot of extra societal pressure as far as what people may deem beauty to be. And that's only on the external, right? We haven't even discussed the internal. But making sure that you feel good within you about how you look and how you speak and how you move about the world, regardless of how the world perceives it. It's more so about how you perceive it. Long as you're just doing it from a very open, it's like opening your heart in a sense, opening your heart to new opportunities, opening your heart to uh, new love, potentially new love, opening yourself to trusting again. Because a lot of this, in order for you to be that open, it's almost a sense of like fresh air and being mindful that what you're doing, without a doubt, you have to trust your process as to how you're moving before anybody else, because it's your life. And understanding that the sacrifices that you may be making now, they are for the bigger goal at the end, right? And sometimes that can be challenging for sure, because sometimes there may be secluded times where you have to be not in a relationship or not in certain careers or certain financial journeys that you may very much well want to take up on, but you understand that now just isn't the time. So having enough discernment to know, like, hey, what I'm doing right now is good. The things that I'm sacrificing on right now are also good, because this may very much be like someone is really focused on just not only just themselves and getting themselves right, but changes in all the different aspects of their life, whether if that's them revamping and looking at their finances and making certain sacrifices and cutting back so that they can ultimately get to the lifestyle that they want. And even career wise, I know I had spoke about it before in another previous reading where it was a lot of changes being made amongst people and like their careers and like making career changes. And that can be very scary and very skeptical, as the time goes on, where you may feel like, dang, after a while, like, is this really worth it? Or, I want, even though I'm delaying gratification now, it's like it doesn't stop you from desiring and wanting the things that you want, but you still have to be understanding that this sacrifice that you're making is ultimately so that you can get to that and get to it in a non-temporary state, right? Because that is something that is constantly overlooked, where a lot of people are so focused on trying to hurry up and rush to get to whatever the next goal is, that they're missing certain steps or they're not embracing the journey as they're going along. And even embracing these sacrifices. You know what those sacrifices are. I don't know your situation completely, whoever I'm speaking to, right? But it's the simple fact of knowing that what you're doing now, you're still ultimately looking at your future and where you want to go, and understanding that these were necessary. You may be feeling a little melancholy about them, may even need a hug. Like I said in this card, somebody is just like really like, dang, I want so many beautiful things. I want to do this, I want to do that, or I want to have this, I want to have that, or I would like to experience said person, or, I want more people who align with me. And it's coming. Just most importantly, being open and receptive and available to all the newness that may come in. So we're going to see what else. Oh, okay. All right. Wait. Okay. I had to make sure it was nothing else because that show was running their mouth. Okay. Let's get these two. First card is something is so right about that. It says, keep your word. And most importantly, keeping your word to yourself. Okay. Keeping your word to yourself. And as you can see, look, the theme is still here. I know y'all see these colors just as well as I do, unless you colorblind, which I'm going to tell you is still a lot of burnt orange, a lot of red, a lot of sacral and root. Getting yourself grounded, but as well, gets also pouring back into your womb, pouring back into your sensual, your desirability, your divinity. And it says, cultivate an inner buddy. It says, have a beautiful day. I, I like these cards. I really do. So try not to stress. This person that I'm also speaking to may be just a little over worried, a little too more focused on the future and getting so much so ahead of yourself that you're not being as present as you possibly need to be and really embracing where you're at currently.